I don't know why kids always sound like they're killing each other when they're playing, I'm sure we sounded like that too, right? Oh, the lawn is growing so much and so well, 'cause the rain it cometh, and soaketh the ground. And oh man, I saw the nastiest video earlier. These poor people. Oh man, yeah. Think about this if you're ever mowing your grass and it's been really hot and like dry forever. uh, they had a rock, in the grass, and it was so dry. And then guess what happened? It just made one little spark, and it just like took off. It was like every time the wind would gust a little bit, done. And yeah, it's amazing how quick it goes, when it's like that. But as long as it stays a grass fire, but you'd be surprised. You got shrubs up by your house or something like that. Brick house, keep the bushes away. Holy moly! Hi, I love you. What the heck are you guys doing here? Like, whoa! There's 16. Well, I'm just here to wish you a happy weekend, and I hope that I mean, it depends on where you are. Some people are, man, they just like click the weekend, like, in some parts of the world. They're already there. They've already arrived. But yeah, not too much to report from around here. Um, Continues to rain. Um, the the sky is beautiful. I wish you could see that. I don't know if you can. Can you see that? See them clouds in there? They're just like so blue. It looks like because of the way it's lit from above, it looks like you're kind of looking at heaven. There, there was one time, uh, and this was a really cool day. Um, I was taking the family down into Pennsylvania. Uh, we are gonna go for breakfast, on a Sunday, right? Took everybody to church. Everybody went to church, and and it was like, it was very, it wasn't common for us, right? So here we are. We're all heading down the highway, and I mean, it felt like a big score. Like, yay, got the family on board. Well, we're heading to Erie, Pennsylvania, because they have like I think that's where restaurants are invented or something, because they're all in it's all one giant spot, and they have everything down there. They have restaurants that I miss from Chicago. Like there's a lot of, food is, people say, Chicago pizza, New York pizza, or whatever, but there's certain other restaurants, like family owned places, that are just wonderful, right? And they deserve credit. I mean, what do you do? Do you cook? I mean, it's, if you do, then you get it, right? If there's something about I don't know. I know I like it, so it's like a way to give somebody something to smile about, right? Yeah, I created a little saying. It's that, you know, the taste buds never lie, you know. So everything in this world has two sides going on to it, right? Yeah, the tongue can lie, but the taste buds never do. If they don't like it, they'll tell you. Brutally honest. But yeah. But you travel around and food, right? Food. Why food? Is it really about food? Yes. Anyway, so we're going down the highway to Erie, and it's about a 60-mile drive from here. And it just starts raining and pouring. I mean, like, we are moving at this point like 3 miles an hour, maybe. And that's to keep as much distance as we can way, way in front of us because we know that, you have to really leave a lot of space because if everybody dives in and crunches up and makes a lot of room, the person way back there, you get some goofball. It's like, woohoo, you know, hey, everybody's gone. Wonder what happened. It's like, no, bonehead, they're waiting for you, parked. And so then here he comes with a whole pack behind him, and well, because he was so. And some people hold back though. You'll see some people cutting around and taking their chances, but it's not worth it. But anyway, it's pouring really solid, right? And and I turn around and I said, "Do you guys want to go to Cracker Barrel?" And they're like, "What?" Like that. And I did this. I go, "Father, can you stop the rain for a minute so I can talk to these people?" And it just went whew, like it was turned off. And my wife is, sitting there, and I'm driving, so I'm here, wife is here, and I'm kind of this way, and she's like, looks like does one of these, right? And I go, where do you guys want to eat? And they said Cracker Barrel. I said, all right, cool, man, me too. And I go, thank you. I go, thank you. And all of a sudden, right back on again, exactly. It was like, what? And but then it was kind of letting up as we went in, and as we were getting ready to walk out, I go, wow, I hope we didn't, not going to wish we needed umbrellas to bring the umbrellas in, right? And when we walked out, right out the front door, the clouds it was the whole sky was gray, rainy, didn't look so great. And then it looked like if we would have walked exactly straight, if we could have walked up, you would have went into like a little V-shaped thing with like fluffy, puffy marshmallow stuff on the sides, and it was just real. It was honestly, it was like a Kincaid technique. Kincaid, when he got you to look at that fire inside of his paintings, that's what he was doing. He was just saying, this is how God does it. But this thing is like lit from above, and then it's also capped on top. So it looks like you have to kind of go up like an escalator full of like just clouds of glory or something. It was just like, woo. That was a cool day. I've had a lot of cool days like that. Many, many, many cool days like that. Much, many more than I deserve. They should be shared. And that's why I do. But he better he better be careful. It's called a Jake break when you oh, and he's still doing it through town, man. You can't do that. And blowing the horn. What the heck's going on with the guy? Maybe his brakes are out. Did you hear him? Good Lord, keep everybody out of that guy's way. Get him there where he needs to go. if the police are chasing him, don't let him be so foolish as to start a chase. Who knows what might ensue? We can all wait until everybody's parked to figure things out. Safety for everyone, and please, if you could, help lower the price of pizza. Amen. I think that's a pretty good prayer. Yeah, I watched a video today, and this is how far I am behind the news. Okay, man, I'm so sorry. Uh, yeah, I'm ready to I'm ready to go. Off the side, and then float for a while, and then go. Out comes the chute, and I'm like, all right, I got this. Pick a spot. Parachute becomes a tent. Go from there. Mm, it's a happy feeling. Haven't you ever wanted to just escape? Contract work is like that. You just got to get to the end of it, and then you can decide if you want to sign on again or not. I laughed. I was in a conversation with, when, well, $50,000 in choice of duty stations was mentioned. And then, recruiter starts laughing, and I'm laughing, and then he's like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, because that's pretty damn funny. Yeah, that's what I'll take. That'll be just fine. No, I think what happens is stupidity should catch up with you after a while, right? Like the dumb things you do, and they do. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Eventually, you're going to feel it in the long run, right? So head off whatever troubles you can before they become that way. Um, yeah. Why be a hero? Somebody on a local radio station here, I wish I knew what this test was. If you know what that test was, go ahead, type it in there. But this is the test where they ask you questions about, have you had a loss of a sibling or a parent? Um, have you lost a job? Have you suffered a divorce? Cross country move? Like they had this list of things, and I'm like, I checked them all. And the lady's like, oh no 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 no, it doesn't mean do you know about these, it means have you ever known these, been through this kind of thing. Oh, yeah, all of those. She thought it was like, he'll check one or two, right? Well, when did it happen? Well, my mom, my wife left on about a month later. My mom died. And then about a month after that, I lost my job on wrongful termination because I was in a court case and they thought I was ditching work. I was subpoenaed, and then I lost a music contract, and then I had to move cross country with no job. Yeah, and she's like looking at the thing, going, "You should be dead." And I'm like, "Well, Doc, if I love your advice, and if that's some kind of medical condition, you got any medicine just for that, so we can take care of that? Because I don't want to be here." It's like, man, it's cold. It is colder than a. Hmm, I don't know. And of course, here we are. Uh, this part of the broadcast brought to you by Chautauqua Lager. Chautauqua Lager, locally brewed. This is one of these It's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's crisp. If you could get it really really ice cold and drink it, which I would drink that, and then I'd be like hyperthermia on my porch, and they'll be like, yeah, the idiot tried to kill himself by drinking frozen beer in the cold. What a moron. Yeah, serves him right. Maybe we should just leave him here for the birds. Drag him into the lawn or something. So you guys are looking at me, right? But you don't realize I got a podcast too. So there's people, they're listening to that stuff and just, their minds are going wild. Little whirring sounds and different things happening in the background. But it is getting cold. It is really cold for me. I want it to snow May 30th. Wouldn't that be cool? Nah, I take that back. That could like ruin a lot of people's crops and stuff. Would it be a great sign? Oh man, happy Friday, huh? I've done absolutely nothing all week and I'm just beat. I can't wait. Man, this lawn. What can we do with the grass? We buy a goat. His neighbor's going to complain about the goat. Maybe we tear down the house and put up a parking lot. The church that I used to go to here, um, it's actually quite famous if you think about it. The Where the parking lot is, that used to be the house where B.T. Roberts lived. And if you know that name, yeah, that church has been there a long time. This whole area where I'm at, this is where the Mormons came from in this area. You had John Lake, who was up in the Indian reservations that are around here. my my wife's Native American. Turtle Clan, look out! They'll get you with the snapper. Did I just say that? Wow. Mm. You know how you well? I don't know. Maybe that's okay to say. That's I don't want to defile the bedroom or something, right? But I guess if your fingers are bloody, then you'll know that God was mad at you, right? He wasn't approving. Hey, it's what in the hell? That can't be Timmy. What the hell's all that rust on there? Is that him? Whoa. No. I think she does have a little boyfriend. Man, that's so cool. uh, Shit, can't you remember that? Damn. Saving every dime so you could go buy. What the hell did I was like the romantic guy, so I was always trying to buy jewelry and shit. they had a they had a place in town called the Rock Shop, and what they would do is they would tumble. different stones or whatever, and then they had mounts that they put them in, right? You could get a gold plated. They had whatever you wanted, right? You could get a pair of earrings, and I just remembered, I don't know, something about opals. They're pretty to me. So, but I would give out jewelry to my girlfriends, and black eyes to the guys that tried to pick them up. But I only hit one guy, and I I asked him what I should do. I said, I can't let you get away with this. Then everybody's going to think they can just what? Chump me out? Uh-uh. He said, well, then just punch me in the eye. And I don't think he got, well, then just punch me in the, I knew what he was going to say. And by the time he said I, he was saying ow. Pow. And then she went with him anyway, mad because I hit him. You're kidding me. No, you don't get to take my old lady on a date. I mean, don't you realize out of the eater something sweet, out of the eater something to eat? That means food for me. All meat is good if you burn it enough. You ever done that? I mean, really. See, you don't know me, but I've been all over the world. I've eaten questionable things that maybe you only find out later, right? And what do you say? You're not sick. Nothing's happened except that you had like one of the most fabulously tasting meals that your taste buds did not lie about. And what? What are you going to say? Just don't eat your dog, right? Just ask the dog, man, what kind of flavoring he put on there or something. Chalk it up to that. Yeah, that was a wow, man. That's happened to me more than once. And it's because I'm adventurous. What do they say? When in Rome, do as in Rome, right? That's why, honestly, when the pandemic hit us, okay, I look at the God we serve as being a God we can trust, right? So it's kind of like, what do I need to do in order to get the blessing? Am I doing something wrong, right? Is it possible, right? Is there any interaction? And I'm not talking prosperity gospel here. I need help. It's different. And you said you're supposed, so then it's kind of, okay, you're supposed to rescue me. What am I not seeing? And then I found it. We were doing something out of line with Scripture, and that's why it cost us as hard as it did. We were way out of line with Scripture, and all because of, like I said, when in Rome, do as they do in Rome. But it's impossible to approach somebody of today's day and age and say something as simple as, the rats got to go back in the cages. And then, if you said that, if there was amongst the Jewish rabbis, I could say, there's no way to put the feathers back in the pillow. We gotta put them we gotta make all the rats in the cages. We need a Passover right now. Right now we do the Passover. Everybody sit down, stay where you are. Can't move, can't spread. No leaven, no air, no crown prince, no nothing. Passover right. We would have been wild. Oh, sorry, one more. Mm-hmm. And guess what? We would have been like, man, that was just a fluke. It wouldn't have gotten that bad. Wow, we took a hit, didn't we? Mm. Anyway, and it was just so ironic. It's named after a crown, which is what a prince would wear. Flies through the air. transmitted through maybe veiled or unveiled. Ah, yeah. Hindsight's 2020, you know. But perfection is the key. That's where we miss out on the blessing. We don't understand that that is the blessing. When he says do all this, do all, whatever, it's not like it's not like it's making him happy because you're in control. It's the controlled part that is going to bring your happiness. And there you go. What do we say then? Whose fault is it? He says if a lot of times. Surely does. If. Everywhere if. It is brutally cold though. It's chilly willy for sure. It's funny. I have these. I got a triad of. Oh, look at me. I used to look pretty good a few years ago, huh? I had a triad of tattoos, but it's weird. I got one that has appeared, not a tattoo, but I've got a mark on my left leg now that looks like it looks like a heart. It's really weird. Isn't that weird? I don't know. On the other side is that's where my ghost is. Oh, and the sun is cracking through. Lord, yes. How are you doing? Are you staying out of trouble? Things aren't driving you crazy, are they? Like, I don't know. All I can tell you is try not to pay so much attention to the news or something until all these goofballs are done, right? It's just like, I can't deal with it. I can't do anything about it. So therefore, watching it just causes me angst that I can't, I might as well I'd rather be oblivious. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I don't care. I absolutely care. But I got to survive too. Stress and worry, it'll strip you down like, did you hear that woodpecker? The timing is just crazy. It's funny because you hear him banging on these hollow logs, right? So they're like not quite that fast, but I don't know. I don't think there's a slow way to twirl your tongue. I have these purple lilies that come up. I wish they would stay longer. The flowers really don't last that long. I collected up all the seeds from last year that I could find. Some of the pods hang around, scatter them around, they grow everywhere, right? But you leave them, if you leave the heads on, then over winter they'll stratify, which is some seeds have to go through a period of, you have to freeze them, I guess, right? They have to really die. You don't necessarily have to freeze them, but in some cases, I don't know if the plant or the seed really cares, right? Springtime, there's so many seeds. A few of them will get going and keep it going, right? You'd be surprised how easy it is to grow stuff. It's not hard. It's enjoyable. Sometimes it's amazing. This little miserable seed that you just couldn't even get going. And then once the thing gets established, it's like a monster. Like, well, spearmint is like that. It's actually hard to get started because the seeds are so tiny. You got to kind of have patience, right? You look at the stuff where you're trying to grow it, and you're like, is that mold, or is that like algae, forming on top of the soil there, or is that something growing or whatever? And yeah, bust out like damn microscope, and you'll see that things are actually getting started. But if you look at them, so then you kind of get worried. You're like, it's got enough moisture, does it not? And that's where it gets hard. I don't know, they like to drown out for some reason. But once they do get established and you get some roots on them, oh yeah, you can then they go nuts. And they smell so good, man. Fresh spearmint growing in a cup. That's better than a beer, actually. Oh yeah. The flowers smell sweet. And you just keep chopping the top off. Oh hi. It's funny, these birds come walking up, and then it's like, you want me to go get you a piece of hard bread, buddy? I don't think it's gonna rain. Let me go get the bird a piece of bread. I think that'd be cool, don't you? Whenever I have like tortilla chips or something like that, um, I save what's in the bottom of the bag, all the little garbage crumbs. The birds like them. It's like they're so small you can't really eat them very, very well, right? You can't really dip them in anything. You can throw them in soup. Can you see me? If he sees me tossing it out there. All right. Enough for them. Ooh, salty. Woo! It's cold up in here. Isn't this like Memorial Day weekend coming up or something too here? When is that? That next week? I think the temperature just dropped like 15 degrees. Oh, man, that's cold. It's too much. I need help. There we go. You can almost smell those lilies. I wonder if I could get those to grow in the house. Depending on what kind of root system they got. That would be interesting. And then you could trick them, you know, kill them off. Or, oh, is it raining? Boy, oh boy. Here we go again. Rain is pouring down, seems like it's lasting forever. Here it comes again. Shaking my fist at the sky, saying, why won't you stop the rain this time? No, we need it. Everybody needs it. Everything's fine. No more complaints. I give up. If anything's wrong, it's your fault. I'm blameless. I'll just do whatever you need. In the meantime. It's kind of weird by placing, it's like you can't split the blame. You either got to say God's sovereign or, yeah, well, then what? Yeah, or then what? Whew. That's about frightening. But there is no then what, so it's like, it's stupid. Easy. Just peace. Peaceful time. How are you? You know what it is? I like this camera. This camera and this audio is just so much nicer. It's kinder, you know. The other one doesn't catch any of the bass at all, and so it just sounds like, I don't know, like you're talking into a trash can or something. It's pathetic. It's like the one that you want to use, like, like I'll talk to you at my house like this, right? But then I'll go out on the road and use my trash can video. All right, it's the Rabid Rabbi. I'm here reporting, and we're live at the. Because the satellite connection's always going to be junked up, right? Because everything goes wrong when it's tragedy. I think it just starts to go wrong a little at a time, and then you finally start to notice it when it's too late. It's like never tamper with the building blocks of anything, right? Like, yeah, that's crazy. You know, what? Can you imagine, like, yeah, no. Can you imagine trying to like manufacture a planet from scratch? And if it's in space, it'll just kind of form as it needs to. You just need to start throwing stuff at it all in the piles and layers that it needs to be in, right? In theory, or is there more going on beneath the surface than we know about? And that's part of the reason why this place is here, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I saw something today that I don't study everything. It's just I know how to do a what's called a thought experiment, and that's where you take as much data as you can and you put it all in the same spot, and then you can use it to see what conflicts with what and so on, right? And sometimes the comes from obscure places, that don't even fit, but they still apply. But if you know how that works, well, then you're good, right? And so, yeah, figure it out with a thought experiment. And you can. All the hardest things to figure out are so easy. And that way you don't have to touch anything, change anything, move anything. The only time anything happens is when you start to do something, right? That thought is literally as a spirit. Same way that it comes down to that ultimately. What does that thought that you have create? What does it do? What's the fruit that comes from it? It's going to be one or two. If it's in the middle, it's, you know, well, yeah, I had to, you know, pick your, I don't know, what, excessive action response. It's just going to keep going back and forth. I wish I had more Jewish friends that were into numerology or something. Or I, Oh, thank you. Can I cry now? And you don't hear me shouting foul things against them, do you? They don't like me either. It's okay. Two witnesses. Two witnesses. I don't know. He's pretty good at covering the abuses of people. Maybe if I moved to Israel, he'd notice me. I'm only one person. It should only take 2 days, right? No, I tried to contact him through his wife to let him know what I thought we should do back in 2020. What God was telling me. Oh, he told you that, huh? Yeah, the Bible says. All he does is talk on that phone. How does she know? Come on, it's cute when a little kid drives by giving you dirty looks. It's like, whatever, you grown man, she'll figure it out. Oh, kid. Oh, did I cut that out of there? I think I did. I need to check that again. The, Man, they dig up our streets and they left like a piece of rebar sticking out of the street. I forget how long this thing was when I cut it off. It was probably 10, almost 12 inches long, right? The big piece of wire. So well, first I tried to smash it down and I destroyed my hammer. It was just old. Good snap-on hammer, but when I hit the thing, all the plastic that was, because it was a dead blow hammer, so it has like the head on there has shot, like lead shot. So as you hit, it's got like this. It's kind of like almost dust, I guess, that weighs a lot. You know, lead lead powder that compresses into the blow and just puts you know puts all the weight into it so it doesn't deflect. You get a good hit, right? And it stops it from bouncing around too. It just like hits and sits there. It's nice. It's a nice tool. Call it a dead blow. Well, I took one of those out there and was going to beat it sideways so I could, then cut the thing off so it would be low. I didn't want it to be sticking up and somebody parked there and poke a hole in her tire, right? So I got to go beneath the ground to get it out of there a little bit, and my hammer like exploded. All the plastic that was formed around the head to give it shape just all shattered and went flying everywhere. I picked up all the pieces and threw them in my garage. I'll show them to the Snap-on guy and we'll see how good his warranty is. Hey, if you know a Snap-on dealer, um, let him know that hammer has been through hell. But it would be appreciated if he could stand up to his lifetime warranty and uh, help me out. It'd be greatly appreciated. You can contact me at. People are so rude driving their cars around here on the street and everything, 716-229-1343. If I don't answer, leave a message. Try again. What? I didn't do it. Do you know what's funny? When somebody says that, do you realize they're saying that God did it? So think about that. If somebody's doing good and then they go, I didn't do it, that's because God was using them to do it. That's what Paul was saying, because he wanted to do good. So that's what he meant. What I want to do, I don't do. It's God working through me. But what I don't want to do, that I do. He's claiming the bad while relinquishing any good works to not even of himself, just to be like as a vessel. I think I'm going to start to study the Hebrew, and I'm going to start with the Paleo, only because it's intuitive. When you look at it. I mean, as soon as I saw it, okay, this is my first experience, my real experience with looking at Paleo Hebrew and considering, things that I had learned, right? That like that most recently that there are Jewish writings like the Tanya where it refers to the man-made of the words of the Torah. It's like, yeah, that's like, doesn't that sound like the word made flesh? Exactly. But I can't do this anymore. We're all connected and we're fighting for absolutely nothing, no reason. We have no good reason that we would be able to stand on where God to show up today and go, all right, I want an accounting of your affairs. You can no longer be managers of planet Earth. And we'd be like, hi, hi, hi. And I'm telling you, there is a beautiful message in that parable. You got to cut the bill, man. Stop bagging on people for every miserable little thing that you can complain about. You got to let as much slide as you can. You really, really do. You got to see that in the cases where somebody's, I don't know, their lifestyle's weird. I mean, hey, what do you do? What can you say, right? It's a, it's none of your business. That's the way I look at it. And I go off and pray. When it becomes my business, if it starts to get in my fluff, well, yeah, well, then that's different, right? But it's like half this shit, all the stuff we bring it on ourselves. I have to put it that way. Every last speck of it. We're given a gift of a way how to get there and do what we got to do. And, you know, like, sorry, but in the least of the ways that you want to look at it, they killed some dude who was trying to show us what it's about. That dude was Jesus, Son of God. And you don't write that off. What a mistake. You would think that by now the Jews actually would claim him or start to because he changed the world so much. It's like, I can show you where neither side is right. I'm going to comment on that. I think I should. Um, there's a wise disciple, I think it is, mixing it up with Tobias Singer. And they start the video out by playing clips from each of their arguments. And I'm like going, you're both wrong. Hey, dude, you better go. That didn't. Dude, oh man. Did you hear that? Okay. Guy pulling around the corner there. He's got a giant trailer on a pickup truck. That sounded like the ball popping, okay? If he didn't tighten that thing down enough, dude, I would have just hit the blinkers and stopped, like right there. I would have drove another 5 feet. If I go look and he ain't parked around the corner, I'll tell you what, we're gonna hear probably sirens in 5 minutes if he's going very far. Uh, Crazy people with trailers. That might be what I do. If I could get a good enough rig where I could haul my motorcycle around, um, I don't need a car and a motorcycle. That's like just too crazy. But like I'd trade off my house for a good camper thing, and then I'll go on the road. I just be like, yeah, you like my pad? Yeah, okay. Well, you got to set me up with a camper rig, and then you take over payments. I clean out all my shit, and it's yours. See you later. And easy. How's that sound? I think it sounds pretty damn good. With some cash too, of course. Hi, give me a bicycle. Idiot, there's no chain. Oh yeah, yeah. That the one kid is riding. He's got a 26-inch girls bike, and he's got. It almost looks like it's a girl's bike, but it almost looks like a giant BMX bike because he's got the seat smashed all the way down to the frame. But and so he's kind of crunched up on the pedals, but because it's a 26, he can barely touch the ground. that kid's gonna that kid's gonna learn a bad lesson there. Maybe, could be. I'm just saying. I've been there, man. You ever slam them? Mm, if you're a man, I'm gonna tell you something. There ain't nothing worse than that's a bad lesson. Just isn't right. Now this is kind of funny. Okay, we're riding 10 speeds through the neighborhood. We're probably 15 years old, right? There's this kid I hang with. His name's Dave Morris, right? Red hair, good dude. Well, we're driving along, and his he's got a 10 speed, and it's got like the brake lever that curves down along the curl. He's got the typical handlebars, right? 21 speed, 28 speed. What do they got now? 49 speed. Who knows? Um, no, now everybody's on electric bicycles. But his brake lever falls off of the handlebar. It slides around and falls off and like swings and then goes into the spokes like in front of the forks. And we're like riding, and he has about enough time. He sees it, he go tries sees it, and it goes in there, and then he looks at me. He just like he's riding, and he goes to grab it, and he can't get it, and then he looks at me and goes, "Oh shit!" And then he turns his head forward just in time for the cable to hit the back of the forks. So then it was like slamming on the brakes. He's lucky it didn't clean all the spokes out the rim. If it wouldn't have hit at where it did, he must have hit it in just the right spot where they could flex a little bit because you know it slowed him down really quick. He didn't peel them all to pieces, and he slid off the seat and right into the gooseneck. And that, if you remember how the goosenecks were, they were like a V-shaped thing. Ah, oh man, it was like meeting some chick with she was wearing like aluminum, stiletto heels or some shit with giant points on the front. Wow. and and so it buckles him, right. He falls off the bike and he's rolling around in the in the ground. And this little kid sees it happen and he's up in the lawn. He's laughing, and I'm like, I don't laugh. And he's and now he's mocking, right? So I chase him around a little bit and I catch him and I grab him and his I don't know if it was his house or whoever's, but they had a giant mailbox there, like that was big. It was like a 5 gallon bucket size, right? Shaped like a regular mailbox. And I flipped the lid down and I started stuffing this kid head first into that thing. And then the lady comes on the board, you leave my kid alone. Ah, boy. I don't know. I hope you got to enjoy some fun, crazy things when you grew up. And I hope that, if you're a parent or something, that you can write some of this stuff off, like kids ringing your doorbell or something stupid. It's like, if it don't get excessive, go out there and chase them around. That's what they're looking for. They think they're making you mad. And then, later on when they grow up, they'll realize that you went in your house and you cracked a beer and then thought about, Mr. Johnson or Mr. Anderson or whoever it might have been that you used to terrorize, right? Flaming bags of dog turds. We never did that. Worse. Yeah. Hmm. But anyway, I don't know. I think in this world we just let everything annoy us so much that we let like an anger take us over. I ain't doing it anymore. I can't. I'm done. I quit. I give up. You can't fire me. I quit. I started a story, my last feed, where I was at the point where I had to break into the place that I worked at, having just completed a 36-hour shift and a 2-hour nap and getting back to work. And yeah, when you find you're locked out of your own job, that ain't right. But it in the end, it resulted in me going to my manager, and telling him about what his brother had done. And I said, look, man, and I said, I'm quitting. That was how the conversation started. And he goes, what? And then he's like, kind of like can't believe it, right? Because I did a lot of great things for that company. They weren't online, and it was stupid things that I just knew how to do as a computer guy. I mean, everybody started from nothing at one time, right? Some people didn't know how to take a GIF image and plug in the X and the Y coordinates to stretch the thing in a particular manner to make it look like it should, and then maybe then superimpose text upon it and stretch it in the same way to see what it's going to do, or compress it, right? And I don't know, man. And so it just became a big problem, and for them, and things I was able to solve, and I got them online. I did a lot of cool things for the company. Um, and then in the end, I walked out. I said, "Look, man, I'm out of here." You know, I think their production department was up 600% by the time I was there. Doubled and doubled. So it was like 100 to 200, 400, 600. And I mean, I just use the capabilities of the machines, and everything is about timing. You know, it's like if you can multitask in the right way, man. If you can make a machine to do everything for you, forget about it. Welcome to AI. See what they need to have some kind of world consortium or something where they go, all right, we're losing too many jobs. What do these people got nothing to do? People are pointing fingers at them and calling them jerks because they can't find work or suitable work or something. They're being replaced by machines or whatever. What in the hell can you do? Fine, you want the machines to work? Great. Prophecy fulfilled. Because I remember when I was in high school, I used to listen to these videos and stuff, where they're trying to tell us what the future is going to be like, right? And, they're showing like the Jetsons in real life, you know? You know what I mean? And it's like, it sounds like a good idea. It could work. I believe it. And then what happened? More machines, more money, make able to make man work harder and harder and harder. And it's like all these machines and crap we're building should be making it easy for us, right? And instead, all it does is it just makes you a more efficient worker. So they can pile more on, pack more on. And it's like, look, man, I'm not a damn slave. I'm not going to do it. I'm more than a number, right? How's that go? I'm not a number. I'm a free man. Ha 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 ha. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-da. Da-na-na-na-na. 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 Da-da. Da-na-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na. Wow. I'm on the run. I kill to eat. I'm starving now, feeling dead on my feet. Spit in your eye. I will deny your. uh, Fight to breathe. It's gotta be tough. Not a number. I'm a free man. Yeah, that's what I need to realize. Let the blind walk into the fires. They'll figure it out. I really want to get to the cherry pie there. My, we have another cherry pie. It was inspired by Perry's. inspired, inspired by Perry's ice cream became inspired. Boy, life was good. Still can be. I'm going to work on that. What's with the barking dog? I felt something. Wolf. My eye. What the hell is that? Uh-oh. Looks like a rescue chopper up the road. Remember where that trailer guy went? Might not be. You don't see many choppers, though. Not like that. That's like news. It wasn't orange. It's funny because there's like a pack of four. You got the girl and three little boys hanging around, right? So it's like they all start hanging together, and then it's like, which one's gonna get that feeling, right? And it doesn't mean that there would be competition or something. But man, women get in the middle of stuff, and there goes your record contract. Yeah, just like that. I can't imagine. It's so funny. When I left California, I was so determined. I said, I am not going to put this guitar down. I'm going to wear this thing out. I saw pictures of people's fretboards that were scalloped from playing them so much, right? Yeah, you watch. And what happened? Found a chick. The guy who had Chrysalis, Arista, and Monogram looking at him and our band, right? Just, eh, get laid. Who cares? And that was a messed up chick, man. Right from the get go, I should have known she was messed up. She went behind her boyfriend's back sending me a letter, and I gave it to her boyfriend, like to say, dude, I don't like you. I think you're a jerk, but she's your girlfriend, so here's the letter. And then what does she do? It like makes her like me more because I'm what? Honorable? I should have been realize, okay, this is probably will end bad somehow, and it did. It's hey, not many people happy about having your old lady show up. Hey, let's. Whew. Yeah, you want to know some juicy? Let me know. We can handle that. You think Diddy was having some parties? uh, I have pictures. Oh man, the things I feel like Solomon, really, the things I have chased and tried to do in order to find happiness, and I mean they have just been ridiculous. Like, I mean, can you imagine getting married and then your wife comes home having wrecked her brand new car? Like, I think it was 28 hours old. Yeah, she tried to she thought it was like a little sports car. It was a Cavalier, and she purple with all the stripes and all this stuff on it or whatever she had, right? And what did she do? She tried to hot rod through a red light, and it was turning red. And guess what? Her and the other guy was like, I had, he didn't care who had the right of way. He had a nice big car, and she T-boned this guy. So there goes insurance, total the car, and everything. And she comes home crying. When I found out, and I'm like, hey, kiss a shit on a piece of metal. Stop, stop. You are what's most important to me. We'll get another freaking car, okay? And it's weird because it's like there's people that are like, you said that at that age, and I'm like, yeah, it's I. What at what age? What difference does it make? A kid should understand that. If your kid doesn't understand the difference between human flesh and a chunk of metal, then you're gonna have problems. They'll be shooting each other over sneakers or something, right? It's like, yeah, man. I gave her everything I could, and it just did nothing. She didn't get you know. And then when I couldn't give her anything anymore, then it was, uh, what the hell is going on here? Is that a crow? I think that's the Asian purple crow. We don't get those around here very often. Hold on a minute. Maybe it'll go again. It's like, sounds like somebody trying to hark up a hairball or something. While they're taking a crap, having eaten like mega bottles of whatever kind of habanero ghost pepper sauce, and they're like, oh, it's bad. Mm, that sounds awesome. I need it. Look at that. I haven't touched them in so long. The tops of the bottles are like clean, man. But yeah, these are the ones I like. El Yucatano. El Yucateco. And I know there's some Speedy Gonzalez somewhere that's going to say, no, that's El Yucateco or something, they'll correct me. That's okay. I enjoy it. The extra, extra, extra hot. And then there's the green chili version. They're both incredibly spicy. And I'm going to enjoy one. Spiritus Sanctus Sepilis Tostito bags. Doritos, please. Holy moly. Okay. If you burn out your taste buds first, the hotter one is worthwhile. So a little warm up first. Good stuff. Mmm. Woo! Little bite in the back of the throat. It's not too hot, but it makes you want to cough, right? This is habanero number one now. Mm. People are like, you're supposed to sprinkle a couple drops, and it's like, no, man. If your nose ain't sweating, you ain't using it right. Mmm. Oh yeah, here we go. Blob it on, glob, glob. Can you believe I used to have a stomach ulcer? I used to eat that, and then I got an ulcer. Everybody said it was because I ate that, and then I found my cure online. It was a doctor in Australia, I think it was. I think it was Australia. He found out that what causes your stomach problem has nothing to do with spicy foods. Made himself a lab rat, tested on himself, even infected himself. He made himself a case, a medical case for what he needed to cure, and then he cured himself. That guy. He should be. Somebody should say something. I don't. Why doesn't anybody lift this guy up, man? That's what a doctor should do. That's what Jesus did, right? That guy. That's a Jesus man right there. Whoever that was. I'm just saying. He sacrificed himself so people could go, yeah, okay, you're right. That's exactly what Jesus was up to. Wow, pow. Did you see that? Little explosion there. The hell is that cloud? Looks like a big mushroom cloud over there. Oh, pizza. Man, I want a pizza. Hi. Mm. Yeah, you got to be careful with hot sauce. You don't want to get it on any mucous membranes beside your tongue. That's weird, huh? It's just trying to say that you can cook all the parts of your body with it. Mm, that is really good. So I can eat this until I'm sweating to death. I remember that kid. I think there's too many pizza joints in this town. The town's too small. There should be like the pizza joint. I remember one time I took my wife on a cross country trip, and we stopped in this tiny little town and had pizza in this place that was just like I don't know, it was in the middle of nowhere. And so you could tell by the way the families were showing up that coming to this place wasn't just like going out for a pizza on Friday night. They were going out for like an outing, you know. The kids got to go into the little arcade there and play, you know, some of the video games and stuff like that. And yeah, it was different. And I'm not knocking it. It's what they had, you know. It was all right. People in there were friendly, and you know, and you do stupid things like stare the owner in the face and go, you know, how's the pizza? It's kind of funny, isn't it? Oh, those are bad. Starting to rain. I like them. Ooh, a couple race cars. That one guy had a really weird looking one. All right, now this is the good stuff here. This is the triple X. Mm. Yeah, man. This one a little more mellow, but it's steep. You can really taste the roasted pepper in here, like this like the charred skin part. You know, it's got a nice smoke flavor to it. It's good. All right, I know I'm supposed to show you how much so you can go. Oh, wonders maniac. All right, yep. Stop. There you go. Yeah. Now, if this was the bomb, woo, that was wicked stuff, man. Mm, nice smoky flavor as compared to the one that's green. The one that's green is not a salsa verde. Yeah, no, no tomatillos in that bad boy. Mm, wow. Is it raining? I can't tell. It's gotta be. Oh yeah. It's like a dew. Could put some in here. Have a spicy beer. Got to be careful with that, man. That if you have a bad cold or something, you want to clean yourself out. Oh yeah, liquid some hot sauce and drink that. It'll it can mess you up. Oh, do I have a tissue? All right. Well. No, I can't do that. Never see me spit on the ground, do you? I since I was saved, I can't. Jesus did that. Since then, I was like, I can't spit on the dirt. Whew. Trying to make, he's laughing at me. Trying to make bird calls and like the neighbor's dog's gonna come running. I saw this. I saw this one dog that was chasing around a squirrel, and the squirrel was like just up on the telephone lines, and that dog was following that squirrel all up and down the neighborhood. It was so funny. He's like, "You got to come down sometime." 5% battery power. This is the end. This one. We'll have to go get a different device. Then we can chat a little bit. I guess we'll be seeing you probably in about 5%. I don't know. Maybe 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, 5%. Are you really going to last that long? This is how we do it. Run it to the ground. That indescript beast grinding everything that's left. So there's nothing but dust and start all over again. Been working for a long time. Working for a long time. When Daniel was told not to write it down because it was for times of the end, why do you think he was told that? That's how long we've been waiting. And Jesus saw it too. And he said anytime will do. And we're still waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh, why are we waiting? We should be celebrating a Sabbath. And one that's just like, hey, 143. Was it 143 when I said that? Oh, a Sabbath. You know what 143 means? It means I love you. You know, one letter, 4 letters, 3 letters. I love you. And I do. I am commanded to do so. That's not a bad gig. The God I serve would be happy with that. Let me know how I can bless you. Wow, 5%, really chugging right along here. I am impressed. It's probably because we're working this